Good morning. This is John Harder addressing the Billion Coin community with another episode. This is episode, let me just see, 85, episode 85 of a live broadcast, spreading the wealth of TBC and free energy. You know, as I was thinking about this broadcast, and I had yesterday, excuse me, some videos that are on the blog, as well as other content that I went through yesterday. And it was pointing out on how the cabal, if you will, or whatever you want to call these people, how they take their time. They are not, they don't seek instant gratification as most of the population does. And of course, if we are constantly deprived, of a decent life, then it's easy to understand why we would seek instant gratification, and why we would pay almost any price for it. Now, I want us to, to look at this picture a little bit, because I believe that, matter of fact, I'm very convinced that we can fix it. You see, when something goes wrong with a vehicle, even if a person knows hardly anything about fixing vehicles or how they're made or anything, but when you are left to a position where you have nothing but time, you need the vehicle, and and you can't do anything else but fix that vehicle so you can proceed with where you're going. It's very likely that you'll find a way to fix it. It's just it's just common sense that you're going to begin looking for the solution. Or you could just sit there and fret about the problem and not get anywhere. But in most cases, I believe once we're out of options, then we do look for a solution. And the thing is, where we as humanity have mostly learned to turn to for solutions is for others, for those that are so-called leaders. But how often does it occur to us that the leaders are they're no different than we are? We tend to have this idea that since it's a leader of a country or whatever, that that they are really, they have all this power to do things. And maybe they do, but that doesn't mean they're going to do what's necessary. Who are they looking out for? The person that's on the throne. That's basically it. And so if somebody comes along and says, look, in the one pocket here, I got $300 million that you can spend on yourself and your family. You can live rich, and if you play my game. But in the other pocket here, I have a gun with a bullet in it with your name on it. Who is the leader going to choose? So what's and that's your that gun. That's here in case you decide not to play, to play ball with us, and then of course we'll find somebody else to take your place here. Well, how do we, like, excuse me, as far as looking, see, how do we say it? I wanna turn this picture inward. I want to turn it to ourselves. We are given a decision every day. We're given the opportunity to make a decision every day to change the world. Every day we can make a new start to change the world. But as I was thinking about how the people the powers that shouldn't be, how they prey on the impulse of people, the impulsive desires for instant gratification, or impulsive actions, maybe I should say, for instant gratification, and that is a huge advantage to them. But so I got thinking about this. What does it take? What does it take for the average human being to not fall for those tricks anymore? And it occurred to me, well, the first thing is that a person would have to become awake. A person would have to become awake enough that things start making sense. Why the world is the way it is, and who is benefiting from what. What decisions do I make that allow the powers that shouldn't be to prey on? We need to understand these things, how this works, and the way they have arranged the world to keep us from getting to that point is to make us very busy, following orders, following the orders of the boss, and following, just very busy, barely getting by, so that we're getting paid enough that we can't afford to quit, and we can also not get ahead in life. That's the idea that has been used to set up the society, or the industry, if you will. Maybe it's industry, but I had more idea of economy. That's the type of economy we live in, where people are tired enough at the end of the day from following orders that they are very content just relaxing for a bit, watch some TV, just, to don't even bother thinking about anything, because tomorrow is another big day, and you're tired, you wanna sleep, so that you can go and do the same thing over again tomorrow. That is the type of a society or the type of an economy that we live in. And to get beyond that, it takes a waking up. It takes a waking up, and this is where most people find it very difficult to to even put enough thought into it uh, in order to start making sense of things. I have so often referred to how I had learned very much about how the human mind works, which was a huge help to me already. But how the economy is set up, I actually had very little or no idea until I was in the Billion Coin and started educating myself on that blog. That's where it things began to make sense for me, how the world is set up and how and who is ruling the world and so on. And the fact is, folks, we cannot turn to our government and expect that they're going to change things. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't any governments that want to do right or stuff. That it doesn't mean that, you know, um, because I believe that it is possible if that there are people in power that actually want to do the right thing. And if we could, if we have connections and we are able to give them enough support, that could change things. But at this point in time, especially for the average person who does not have, some sort of connections in higher places in power, we are best off changing our own world and help our next, of kin, our friends, and help those closest to us to change their world, who in turn can do the same for, for their closest friends. When it ripples out far enough, we cover the entire globe. And to do this, we have a very good example that is given to us in the Bible. In the Bible, we have the example. We have these words written for us. All power is given unto me. Go ye therefore into, and then even the instructions are given. You start in Jerusalem, and then you allow it to ripple out. Well, let's look at that a little bit closer here. So all power is given unto me. Well, who is this power given to? It's to the reader that reads those words. That's who that power is given to. So you have all power to change your own world. That power has been given to you, and it is because you have control of your mind. If you don't have control of your mind, well, then that's what is lacking, because you need to take control of it. And this you can do by using affirmations. You can get your mind under control if it isn't. Because it is in the thinking where everything starts. So if a person, mostly thinks negative thoughts, that is what your life will be. And so you see, the thoughts are the seeds. That's the seedbed of what, the seedbed is actually your subconscious mind, but the thoughts are the seeds that you need those are where you need to take care of what you are sowing. And as you begin to take control of your thoughts and you put the right seeds in the seed bed of the subconscious, then your world will change, because that is how you can take control of your world. Now, what does it mean when it says to begin in Jerusalem? Jerusalem is right at home. It's here. It's where the heart is. It's at home, in your own mind, in your own heart. That's where you start. So that's Jerusalem. And then it goes out from there. It goes out from there to change your world, your health, your economy of in your own world, like your possessions, whatever it is you possess, everything will reflect of what your thinking is. And once your life changes, it will start rippling out to other people's lives. Now, I want to remind us that we have a tool like we've never had before, and that is the billion coin. The billion coin is a tool, a very, very powerful tool that we can use to change the world. But if we do not change our own inner world, then we haven't really changed much, because that's what we must change. We must change our thinking. And when we do that, and we create a world of joy and peace and harmony and plenty of abundance in all things, that's what other people can follow. We need to have a life of true happiness and fulfillment. And that is when we have what people really want. And that's when we can give people what they really want. And the billion coin is a great tool for us to use. And with it, we can, start people off with a a free gift. And then as we educate them as to where they are, it's kind of like like navigating to go someplace. In order for you to know which way you need to turn to go to where you want to go, you need to know your position. You need to know where you're at. Once you understand where you are, it'll be much easier to navigate to where you want to go. And this is just it, because humanity, for the most part, at least here in Canada, they have no idea where they are. I mean, as far as their home address, yeah, maybe they know that, but they have no idea that, well, first of all, they have no idea that Canada doesn't even legally have a government at all here. It's all fake. It's smoke and mirrors, folks. It's smoke and mirrors. Back in 1931 is when the contract with Britain expired, and nothing has been renewed. It couldn't be renewed, and Canada never went ahead and created their own government of choice. This is how we have lived here, and I would not be a bit surprised if Australia is the same way. Who knows? India and probably New Zealand and who knows how many other countries, probably the exact same thing, that they don't even legally have a government. But I don't know that. I'm just saying, because that is the surprise that we have just kind of run into here in Canada. You see, the powers that shouldn't be, they have the idea that it's on a need to know basis, and nobody needs to know. And so that's how they keep us in the dark. When we look at the banking system, the teller knows nothing except her job or his job, what needs to, they have no idea about banking. They actually know nothing about banking, only what their job is. That's it. So those of us who have learned what the central banking system is and so on, we know far more about banking than most bank managers do, because they have no idea either. So let's consider ourselves educated. If we have availed ourselves of the information on blog.thebillioncoin.info, then we can actually consider ourselves quite educated. Now, when we know that information, which gives us a great overview of what our position is in the world, then we need to also understand, how do we move out of where we are to where we want to go? And this we need to prepare in our mind. Here is where we need to prepare our thinking. We need to prepare our heart. It's interesting, some of the information I came across recently in my studying is that the human heart actually has almost as much in it as the brain does, maybe just as much. When a person gets a heart transplant, they actually take on their body actually takes on the moods of the previous person that had that heart before. I found that quite to be quite something. But anyway, that's a little side note that actually doesn't have maybe very much to do with what we're talking about. So the billion coin, where I was talking about that as a tool, and it is a wonderful tool. But if we want to look at what the billion coin does for you, then we can look at the average person who is in the billion coin. They have received the free gift, and that's basically where they sit. Some of them, of course, have went ahead and paid the $10 fee, and some of them are migrating, or maybe quite a few of them. But from the number that I understand are actually migrating, is a pretty small number compared to the amount of people who received the Kringle's gift. And what am I saying here? I'm saying that the billion coin isn't going to do anything for you. It will do nothing for you. It must come from the inside if you want your life to be changed. The billion coin is a wonderful and very powerful tool, but it will do nothing for you. The person, as a person, you are the one that is breathing. You are the one that is thinking for yourself. You are the one that is making up your mind. You are the one that must change your life if you want your life to be changed. We are here, and we are very willing and ready to help you, and we have great tools to do it. But if you're not going to make any change, there's nothing we can do. We are on the outside, but you are on the inside, and you have to start on the inside. So with that said, I want to talk about the billion coin some more, because there may be people who are they have thought that the billion coin was going to do everything for them. Now their life is really going to change because they joined the billion coin. And folks, that is not so. The changing your life, nobody can do that but you. We could all try, the whole world could try to change your life, but it's not going to happen unless you open up your heart for the truth to come in and begin working inside. There is really no other possible way. So we've got to realize that. Okay, so I want to share the screen for a bit. All right, so it was a new post, right, on the blog. Projecting scripts. Okay, here we are. This is another very good, very good post, very valuable information. So let us really, take to heart that if we want our life changed, we are the ones that have to go and do that. And again, like I just mentioned, that the billion coin is a wonderful tool. And when I say that, I don't mean just the monetary value or part of it, because I believe that the information that's available on the Billion Coin blog is just as valuable as the coin itself. So here we have some great scripts, and I'm not necessarily going to read them right here, but giving us great information as to how to use, how to go through the steps and so on, like to start that the billion coin can do something for us. Okay, and so that is great stuff. Now, another thing that I want to yeah, this is basically what this blog post is about, is to show us how to approach people on Facebook and so on, that we can do it effectively. And I'll be completely honest with you. This here is very valuable information for me, because as much as I have learned how our mind works and how many of those things work, also where we are in regards to like how the world runs and so on, I still can greatly benefit from this here type of information. Now, I could take us through a whole bunch of different blog posts here, but anything that we do want to look for, we can let's see what comes up if we could look at central banks. Or central banking, maybe. Let's just see what comes up. Look, a bunch of posts comes up, and here's information on central banking. This is how the banking system works, is one of the most valuable things for people to know, because this helps us to see where the world stands, right? So here we are, great posts, great valuable information. Let us use these things. That is just and here we have another website, another post. See, great stuff here. Let us use this information and move forward as we to change our lives, and allow that change to ripple out to other people. I have often mentioned, and I've heard others say it too, that we cannot give to others what we don't have. Just because now, of course, I mean, it doesn't mean we can't share the billion coin right away. It doesn't mean we have to read all the blog posts before we can tell anybody else about it. Of course, we can, especially our, our family members, friends, and so on. We can share it already, but then it becomes important also that we get through the information and understanding so that we can effectively uh, help other people to become aware of what kind of a world we live in and how they can change their own world. And as we do that, as we share with them how they can change their world as well, and we can give testimony of how our world has changed, that is how we can truly make the billion coin work. Not just a bunch of excitement about how much money it is, because that's very shallow. It wears off very quickly. It needs to be, it truly needs to be from the inside out. And then, of course, as we do that, let me just take you to another post as well. I could have done it while we were there, but I didn't. And so I'm going to share the screen a bit more. I want to show you something. And maybe, is it not going to load or what? No, now my computer's, I don't know what's happening. All right, so we'll go with okay, so here's what I wanted to go to, because I believe that we can talk to people about banking and about the billion coin and so on, but I have been sharing with people about this, about the free energy as well, and the billion coin. And there are actually people that say, well, I don't care about the billion coin. I don't want to know nothing about to do with that. What I want is I want this free energy, these energy units. And now, of course, that doesn't really mean that when they see the effect of the billion coin, it will mean something to them. But we know that, or well, I don't know how many people really are aware out there about how what am I trying to say? The smart meters, what they actually do. So it's, and we have information on here. Those are side notes, though, links that lead to side notes, information about what the smart meters actually do that have been installed almost worldwide. You see, they are part of the Agenda 21, NATO's Agenda 21, which is genocide. That's what the smart meters are for. And so on this page, if you go through the information on here, I have laid it out quite clear why we want to do this. And it is a twofold purpose, really, because what we want to do is we want to get free energy to people, so they can live more efficiently and get rid of the dangers of the smart meters. And also I've tied right into this the billion coin, that we're spreading the billion coin at the same time, because it will be so that the partial payment for these units will be by the billion coin. And also, people who do a contribution to the project, I pay it back in 100% in TBC. So I believe that there is very much incentive here to for those who would like to top up on their TBC some more. There's great incentive here to help with this project, to get it out to people. And not only that, it is also what else we're doing is making electricity available to people who cannot afford it. And also at the same time, then we will be connecting them with the billion coin as well. And always, 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 we are stressing the importance of the information that the blog provides, because of it is so valuable for us to understand where we are in life in order for us to move to the direction we want to move to. All right. So that is, I think that pretty much finishes my broadcast for today. And so I want to just encourage or invite those of you who are sitting on coin. If you're watching this and you've received the gift, and you haven't migrated and maybe not paid for your wallet or anything, I want to invite you to move forward and change your life, because the billion coin is a great tool, and it can really be a financial help for you. You are sitting on quite a bit of money from the gift that you have received. Don't let it disappear on you. So just go through the migration. I have plenty of links in the description. I have actually there's a bunch of links for a lot of different information that is available, that where you can learn where you are in life, where is this world, what is going on. And also the johnharder.com is there, where if you want information about migrating or paying the $10 wallet fee or whatever, it's all there. You just need to become a member, and then you'll have all the information there that you need as far as the billion coin is concerned. Okay, so far as that's what you need to do. And also for those who aren't in the billion coin, it's a life changer, folks. It's a life changer. You get a very nice, generous gift to begin with. You can go through the sign up process. There are some steps to take to sign up, because there's a questionnaire that you need to answer, which the answers are right there. All you do is read it and go through it, so you understand what we're doing, because we're not sneaking up on anybody and try to trick you into anything. That's not how we go about things. We want people to know what they're getting into. We want them to know the power that is available to them to change their lives. And also the understanding about where this world really is at. Okay, and we can change it. Don't expect your government to change it. We have to change it. It was never meant to be that we are depending on somebody else. It was never meant to be that way. So don't depend on somebody else. Now, yeah, I mean, I don't mean to say that we should not be dependable or be able to depend on each other. Certainly we should. But what I mean is that don't be depending on your government to change your life, because they're not going to. All right. So if anything, if they would make any changes, it would likely not be for the better. Okay, so let's see who's all in the chat here. Pedro, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I truly appreciate it. And Marjorie, thank you for moderating. And we got Mary Ann Murphy. Thank you so much for being with me here this morning. I truly appreciate it. Mahalko as well. Thanks. I appreciate you hanging out with me as well. And Stephen Cuffey, thank you as well for coming on. I appreciate it very much. Yesterday, my internet was down for quite some time. I wasn't able to attend very much, but that's how things go sometimes. Christina, thank you as well for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. You know, I have to sign in to, I can't even chat. I don't know why. Malco, I did say that. Yeah. For some reason, my chat is off. I can't chat. I don't know why. Yeah. That's weird. I can't chat. I can't type anything in the chat, but that's okay. So I want to thank you very much for for being here, and I truly hope that I have inspired you in some way. And please do click the like button. And so have a wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever it is that is in front of you, and we'll hopefully see you tonight at 9.